Start talking, kid. What else you know about that book?
In 1947, the suspected Roswell crash brings gray aliens into our naive terrestrial bubble. The crash site, having immediate proximity to Trinity, the first nuclear bomb tests, connects our contact with grays to the nuclear blasts. Such theories have been explored at length. Marty McFly is abducted by a UFO during an epic struggle to connect with Greys. The Greys enter his life at this innocently titled merchant, Blast from the Past. The correlation is obvious when one recognizes that Blast from the Past refers to the blast from the past, the atomic bomb blasts at Trinity in New Mexico that catapulted mankind into the atomic age and instigated contact with the Greys. This first contact takes place in 1947. The chronological connection is unveiled by an albino vermin with a suspiciously pronounced presence during Marty's encounter of the Greys at the blast. Roger Rabbit is set in 1947. This being the year that Greys are discovered near the blast in Roswell, New Mexico. To solidify that 1947 is indeed being pointed to, we will note that Marty is directed to this information of Greys at the blast by this man, Charlie Fleischer.
I just go to Miami. What did you just say?
I said I wish I could go back to the beginning of the season. Put some money on the Cubbies.
What did you just say?
Fleischer, the actor, is the voice of Roger Rabbit, again taking place in 1947 along with the Roswell crash. Our Trinity explosion reference, Blast from the Past, is validated when we scrutinize the hidden hand of its cleverly obscured logo. 60-degree increments split the decade markers on the timepiece. By drawing in the conveniently covered digits, we extrapolate the realization that the blast being referenced is indeed the Trinity explosion, as the hand points directly to 1945. The date of Trinity, couple 1945 with the accentuated word blast, and suddenly we see the light. In the earliest instance of Back to the Future scripts, we uncover further evidence of strong nuclear gray contact suggestions when we learn that the space-time distortion vehicle was intended to be placed at the site of a nuclear explosion in order to trigger the opening of the Stargate. The time machine, as a mechanism for traversing dimensions, is synonymous with entering higher states and thus encountering higher life forms, or Greys. So, it is fitting that this machine was intended to be activated at the site that pioneered nuclear explosions, where gray higher intelligences are said to have been first found. Nuclear higher intelligence contact is relived by Marty McFly as the time machine crashes into the Assembly of Christ Church, a location predated by the cinematic showing of The Atomic Kid. The leap to nuclear weaponry is accompanied by contact. Of note is how mushroom clouds and conventional contact protocol via craft abduction share an apparently sacred geometric archetype, further fusing contact with alien semi-deities with the deity impersonating act of atom splitting. John F. Kennedy, in a letter to the CIA on November 12th, demands records revealing intel pertaining to the suspected alien presence on Earth. Marty traverses this atomic stargate to contact higher life forms on November 12th. in front of the store where he learned that gray contact was made from the atomic blast, the very same information that JFK sought on the very same day, November 12th. JFK's thirst for this knowledge is accounted for by strange forces which place a bust of his head at this scene where the information he sought is actually discovered. The blast from the past is where the Greys tethered a terrestrial connection. 10 days after JFK sought this information, he was killed. On that very same day, an atomic blast test exploded in the desert of New Mexico, its codename Greys. At a dinner with the McFlys, Marty expresses exceptional interest in men from space.
Hey, I've seen this one. This is a classic. This is where Ralph dresses up as a man from space.
He then seeks directions to Doc Brown's house.
Listen, do you know where Riverside Drive is?
It's the other end of town, a block past Maple, east end of town.
Where the scientist has just conceptualized our nuclear gray contacting mechanism.
Standing on your toilet, and you were hanging a clock, and you fell, and you hit your head on the sink. And that's when he came up with the idea for the flux capacitor, which is what makes time travel possible.
Only to find out that the process was carried out on...
Block past Maple, that's John F. Kennedy Drive.
Who the hell is John F. Kennedy?
Mother? Block past Maple, that's John F. Kennedy Drive. Block past Maple, that's John F. Kennedy Drive. 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 Drive. That's John F. Kennedy Drive.
The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. And we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings. For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means